Hello, and thank you for watching Standalone Workflows and Public Maps in GeoMedia Smart Client 2015 from Hexagon Geospatial eTraining. In this video, we'll see how to check the prerequisites, configure Workflow Manager to run as a standalone application, define a workflow, add public maps, and run the workflow to see the results in a browser. To use workflows as a standalone application, you must first install and configure GeoMedia Smart Client, define the Smart Client project to include public maps, and you must configure public maps. To begin, let's first see how to configure Workflow Manager to run as a standalone application. Once GeoMedia Smart Client has been installed, you can simply copy the Workflows folder to create a separate directory and create an application in Internet Information Services, IIS, that is pointing to this directory. To do so, copy the Workflows folder, navigate back to the GeoMedia Smart Client folder, and paste the Workflows folder. Double-click the Workflow folder to open the ISS Manager. In the Connections pane, expand the Sites folder and right-click Default Website. Click Add Application to open the Add Application window. In the Alias field, type Standalone Workflows and click Select. The Select Application Pool field will appear. In the Applications Pool drop-down menu, select Smart Client 15 WF App Pool and click OK. Next to the Physical Path field, click the Browse button. In the Browse for Folder window, expand Computer, OSC, Program Files, Integraph, GeoMedia Smart Client, Workflows, and click OK. As always, the application should use its own application pool, and the app pool should be configured to run as network service. Click OK. Next, the workflow.config has to be modified in order to overwrite the default configuration, as the installed version is configured to run with GeoMedia Smart Client. From the Workflows folder, double-click workflow.config. Now we have to set the authorization provider, connection provider, and session provider using alternative providers. You could also define custom providers and configure the application to run using them. In this case, we'll configure the system to run without any authorization and to use a built-in connection and session provider. In case the application is configured to use the default connection provider, the connection string must be defined within this workflow.config. The application is now configured to run in standalone mode. Now we can add a workflow that allows us to add new events to the system so we can locate them in public maps. This can be done because the application will be configured to search for these events. As seen here, we can already search for hotels. Before we can search for events, we'll need to add an event to the system. From the Workflow editor, select File, Change Project. Let's name this new project HXGN Live Events. Click OK to close the Workflow Workspace Selection dialog box. To make this a bit easier, we have pre-configured a simple workflow. In this workflow, two forms are used. The first form is the Overview, or Event List, and the second form is for the Detailed View configuration with all the fields needed to create an event. There is an Overview node to see the already captured events, one node that allows editing existing events, and another node to create new events. Let's have a quick look at the client side to see the result of the basic configuration. We can see the workflow with a custom header and the Overview node with no entries to be displayed. The table is still empty, so we have to create a new event workflow. To create a new workflow, click New. On the Details tab, you can see the basic fields of the event. The Map Content Configuration tab contains the POI and Map Tooltip information. Next, we'll add public maps in order to capture the POIs on the map and geolocate the events. To use public maps in workflows, a Form Map Viewer element must be added to the form. The Map Viewer element has already been prepared and needs a name, label, and the base URL to locate public maps. The GeoMedia Smart Client site and the project should be used within this site. Next, we'll capture the event and add a form action to activate the point draw in Public Maps. Public Maps is capable of drawing points and capturing lines and polygons. Whenever geometries are captured within the form together in Public Maps, the form action must be defined to store the form while using the geometry together. Therefore, you need to use Map Viewer, and from the Map Viewer, you need to save geometry. In our case, whenever it has been saved successfully, continue within the workflow. Now that we have configured the final workflow, we can start adding events to the system. To begin creating our first event, click New. In this screen, we can now see Public Maps. Let's name the new event HXGN Live. For the description, type "Great stories await you." In order to search for the event, in the Tags box, add MGM Grand, HXGN Live, Hexagon Geospatial, Intergraph, ERDAS, June, Event. Now we need to capture the event on the map. To set the attributes, search for and locate the MGM Grand Hotel on the map. Click and drag the place point on the MGM Grand map location. From the Map Content Configuration tab, click the Insert Image button from the POI tooltip. In the Web Addresses field, paste the HXGN Live logo image file. Type HXGN Live 2015-Las Vegas in the alternative text field. Enter 250 for the pixel width and 45 for the pixel height. Click Insert. To hyperlink the logo, highlight the HXGN Live logo and click Insert Hyperlink button from the POI tooltip. In the web address field, paste the hxgnlive.com HTML file. Click Insert. To add a map tooltip, click Insert Image. In the web address field, paste the HXGN Live tooltip image file. Type HXGN Live 2015-Las Vegas in the alternative text field. Enter 600 for the pixel width and 83 for the pixel height. Click Insert. This map tooltip does not need a hyperlink. Return to the Details tab and click Save. We have now created our first event. You can zoom out and search for HXGN Live. You'll be pointed to your new event. We can now search for these events in the Public Maps standalone version. Thank you for watching this e-training module from Hexagon Geospatial. For more e-training, please visit hexagongeospatial.com/e-training.